Hey, welcome to episode 34 of Credit 101. So, in this episode, we're going to talk about the fact that you can dispute inaccurate and incomplete information on your credit reports. So, we're going to go over what you can do, what the credit bureaus have to do when you send disputes, and how that whole process works. So, the first thing is I want you to know whenever you send a dispute, the credit bureaus have an option to reinvestigate that account, but basically investigate it, look into it, see if they want to delete it. And if they're going to delete it, most likely they're going to reinvestigate it, look into it, or delete it in 3 days. So 3 days, usually they'll look at it and say, okay, you know what, this is supposed to come off. Let me just take it off. Or they may say, hey, let me investigate it. Now, if they're going to delete it, they have to make sure they tell you within 3 days, and they have to make sure they do that by phone or written communication. And they have to make sure they provide those documents within 5 business days after they delete that account. So usually after you send a dispute to the credit bureaus, they'll send you a letter in the mail letting you know what accounts they're actually deleting from your credit reports. Now, if they're going to investigate it, they have to make sure that they investigate these accounts in 30 days. And if you guys get your credit reports from annualcreditreport.com, which I told you guys, I would rather you not do that. You guys can get your credit reports from Identity IQ with $1 trial. I have that right below in the description on my YouTube channel. But you guys can be able to get your reports from them and not have to worry about the 15 additional days that you're giving the credit bureaus to actually investigate this account. So remember, if they don't investigate these accounts in enough time, say if they look at the account, they don't do anything, or the creditor don't respond, they're required to delete this account or these accounts, depending on how many you do, from your credit reports. Okay. So I tell people, try not to get your credit reports from Identity IQ to give them 15 additional days. Now, the next thing is they have to make sure that they contact the creditor, whoever the account is being reported by. They have to make sure that they contact them within 5 business days of actually receiving that dispute. Okay. And they have to make sure that if you send any information in with your dispute, they have to forward that to the creditor. That's another big thing. And then they'll provide whatever results is within 5 days of the completion. So they have to make sure that they provide those results. But again, that goes back to those 5 business days that they have to let you know about deletions. If they decide not to delete it, they have to let you know what the results are too within 5 business days. And then also, if you're trying to get this done faster and you're on the phone with them, sending your disputes, I always tell people, make sure you send them out certified. Send them out certified mail and call them and say, hey, I'm trying to get a mortgage. I'm trying to get a car. Because sometimes some reps will actually make it faster. They'll put a rush in for you. So just call and see if they can be able to do it. It's not guaranteed that they'll do it, but calling them won't hurt, especially if you do need to get this information rushed. You can also dispute your stuff online too, but I don't suggest it because you don't have a paper trail if you actually want to go ahead and sue the credit bureaus. But definitely contact an attorney about that. You can dispute certain things online. Maybe you have additional addresses and things like that. You can dispute that information online. That'll be fine. But I do suggest you just call the credit bureaus and tell them they need to remove this, okay? If you do have those different things. Again, I suggest that you do this by mail. Certified mail is going to be best in this situation. Now, we're going to talk about in the next episode, episode 35, what type of things you should put on your dispute letter. Like what type of reasons would you put on your dispute letter? So let's go ahead and check that out.